Hey, welcome back. Appreciate you checking this out. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out 19. Okay, so we have to talk about Natasha Cloud. I talked about her in a previous video in terms of her comments with the money and, giving us our money now and all of that. But this one is unfortunately a little different, but this is another great example of how you, yes, you, dear listener, you, 19, you are the problem. The WNBA is fantastic. It's always been fantastic. You're all just too much of an ist and an ism and a phobe to have seen it and appreciated it and supported it. But now that you are here, they want to make it very clear what they think about you. They want to get the money from the CBA, from your support, but they do not like you. They do not want you in this league. And this, I keep telling people, this is not going to change. It's not going to get, it will change eventually. As I said before, with a lot of what I see from new players coming into the league, replacing the old guard players are going to end up gone. The old guard fans are going to end up gone. And it's going to be a better product, better league, better environment overall. But I want to dig into this wildness. Natasha Cloud was on Ryan Clark's podcast. Didn't know he had a podcast.
It almost felt like marketers were trying to figure out, like, yeah, we have all of these amazing players and these amazing personalities, but can we push the demographic? And then when Kate
Okay, right there before he continues, because it's a little bit of a lead up into the question, because he wants to set it up in a very specific way, because that's what Ryan Clark does. Did you hear what he was saying? He mentioned demographic, and we all know what that means. The league was great, the personalities were great, but they didn't market it properly. And oh, here come those troublesome new fans telling you the league is too physical. Okay, Natasha, you're set up now. Let's hear it.
Caitlin Clark got to the league, the Angel Reese's got to the league, and
Okay, I'll let it go after this, I promise. Do you notice he had to throw in Angel Reese there? Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
they might have been fouled hard. The same thing I saw happen with Shamika Holsclaw, though.
You see my tooth knocked out?
Yeah,
Rookie season, Jewel Lloyd. My tooth knocked out. I still didn't get it
So
fixed.
how do you
It's cool.
T-Cloud, how do you feel about the fact that all of a sudden it was, oh, it's too physical, oh, they're going at them because they're stars? What was your reaction to some of the new viewers and fans to the game thinking that the WNBA was too rough?
It was a crazy season because we have never had so much momentum behind our league, so much support, demand, viewership, all that, accessibility. But the craziness that came with the new fandom was rooted in something other than fandom, right? And I think that's very evident to see across the board. In a lot of
New fans, you're the problem. You're not about basketball. And it's completely obvious to Natasha Cloud. Of course, it's also complete BS, as we know. New fans follow Caitlin Clark to the WNBA because they love watching Caitlin Clark and her style of basketball, which has never been seen before in the women's game. And all they wanted to do was support their player. And by supporting their player, they started to get to know other players on the Fever, and they became fans of them. You can see how the players were embraced in the offseason that came to the Fever. Then they found other players in the league that individually they also wanted to support. It was never the new fans. All the new fans ever did was stand up for themselves when people like Natasha Cloud smeared them for no other reason than they think differently or they assume they think differently. I've said this a million times. Caitlin Clark has fans all across the political spectrum, but they want to put them in a very, very specific box so that they can smear them because they never wanted new fans. They want the money that comes from the fan support, but they only ever wanted fans that think exactly like them on every single thing because the WNBA has always been about activism. It has not been about the product on the court. Let's keep going.
ways, it has not been about basketball. Like, we can
That is true. For the new fans, it has been only about basketball. Then they realized they had to stand up for themselves and fight back. It was never about basketball for you, Natasha Cloud. It was never about basketball for the old guard fans, all 12 of them. It was never about basketball for the rest of the league. Now we have new fans, fans who actually know basketball, who actually like basketball, who want to watch good basketball. And they've come to a league to support Caitlin Clark and discovered it's not basketball. And they make it about everything but basketball. Everything these fans do, the Olgar fans, n- all about everything else, not about basketball. Basketball is the excuse to talk about everything else.
And we can talk about, people getting fouled. I just showed you my tooth getting knocked out. Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical. I can tell you the amount of times I've left with bloody lips and eyes. I've bruises all over my body, even from the game last night. You can see bruises on my elbow from last night. Like,
Right.
it's just a part of the game. So there was no targeting. There was no nothing.
Right.
That narrative that got spun into, oh, the vets hate the rookies hate the vets are going after certain players. And so what it is racist.
Okay, hold up, back up. You notice how they spin everything? Okay, guess what? Everybody who's played basketball has bumps and bruises. No one came in all about, "Oh, this is awful," and they're complaining about normal physical play. I know normal physical play. Real fans, which are the new fans, know normal physical play. This is not what they've seen from the WNBA. Absolutely, Caitlin Clark has been targeted, you complete and total liar. Many calls she didn't even get, and yet she still had, what, 40% of the league's flagrant fouls were against her. Now, what I'm about to replay, the reason you see that little jump is because what it is, she cursed there, and I just clipped that out. She said, "What it is, it's BS," but she said it, and then of course we get to the next statement. In case you were unclear how she feels about you, how she feels about the new fans, they not like us.
Going after certain players. And so what it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's in this league the way that any other best player, franchise player is going to get played.
All right, before we get to this next clip, which I believe she is now deleted, again, moving the goalposts. No one is talking about that stuff, Natasha. No, oh my God, I can't, here's why we do this, and we clap back on it, whether it's me or other YouTubers or people on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, is if we don't, people who don't have an opinion, and I said this before, but people, I always get comments about why don't you just ignore it? Because nothing will ever change if it's ignored. You'll get people who come in who don't have an opinion either way, and if all they ever see is the Cheryl Swoops lies about Caitlin Clark, or players like Alyssa Thomas, Natasha Cloud, Dejanay Carrington always screaming ism, is, phobe, and no one ever says, no, 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 hold on, wait a minute, that's a lie, and here's why, then those people are they're gonna form the same opinion, and nothing ever gets better. Now, this clip right here to top it off, which again I believe she has now deleted, talking about Sophie Cunningham. So pay attention to what she says in this little clip right here. This is kind of wild.
I tried to have open dialogue. I tried to have hard dialogue with her, and it is what it is. What you vote for this election, we gonna see. But my life depends on it, and if that don't matter to you, you can't tell someone you love them and then vote against their life.
My life depend. This woman is an absolute loon. She belongs in a mental institution and a straitjacket because she does not have the intelligence to function in society. I know that was over the top, but I couldn't help myself because this stuff is so dumb and so bizarre. I want to make clear what she said. I mean, I'm assuming, I guess, Sophie votes differently than her, but she's just said if you vote differently, if you have a different vote than Natasha Cloud, you're voting against her life. You are trying to unalive Natasha Cloud with your vote. That is one of the most deranged, bizarre, ignorant things I think I've ever heard. And now you get it. But this is the WNBA. This is what the WNBA has been for 25 plus years. And this is why they are freaking out. And this is why they're losing their minds because all these new fans came in who are actually knowledgeable basketball fans and want to focus on basketball. And they have put eyeballs on this league and this is what they see and now they're exposing it and now it's all getting out into the open which it wasn't before because normal people normal sports fans, no one was watching, no one was paying attention, so they were getting away with all this stuff, and that is simply not happening anymore. It's got a couple other things I want to share here. Here's what I mean about people no longer ignoring it, right? Because now you got real fans. The W360, shout out, go check her out sometime in her live. Pretty funny too, pretty smart. Is a ace baiting clout chaser that stinks in sports commentary. His co-hosts aren't worth mentioning. Natasha Cloud, aka Natasha Clown, is running to race baiting media because she's average at best in the W and is now stuck playing in Connecticut because she stinks. Until this nonsense ends and they drive these people out of the league that are not all about basketball, and we bring in the replacements from college, the Hannah Hidalgos and the Olivia Miles and the Juju Watkins that want to come in and ball. That is going to be a beautiful day when you see better basketball, more likable stars who embrace the fans. I'm going to leave it there. Appreciate you checking this out. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will talk to you later.